Welcome back, class. In this video, we'll be looking at another topic, which is called gases. More specifically, we'll be looking at the gases present in the atmosphere. So we will cover up the sections of these going to specify what the atmosphere is made up of, what are the gases available in the atmosphere, because as you guys know, there are a lot of gases in the world, but what are the specific gases and what are the gases that we need to know, need to learn, and what are the gases which are negligible. So, and also we will look into in detail what these gases are, and also we will look at what constituents these gases are present in the atmosphere. Okay, so atmospheric gases. So the atmosphere is made up of mainly there are two gases which are in high amount of concentrations, and there are a mixture of other gases. So for example, nitrogen, it contains nitrogen. Atmospheric gas contains nitrogen, which has the highest constituent of 78%, which is I think more than 3/4 of the atmosphere of the atmosphere and the gases. And then we have oxygen, which is 21%. Okay, and then the other gases, which are it could be water, noble gases, and even carbon dioxide, which roughly add up to about 2% of our entire thing, maybe even less than that if you really perform your arithmetic correctly in here. Okay, so the atmosphere is mainly made up of two main gases, which are nitrogen and oxygen. So nitrogen and oxygen are very important gases, that means in that case. So we will look about what they are, and mainly we'll focus on the uses of what these gases are for in a day-to-day life. So let's go for nitrogen first, because it has a great amount. It's the largest constituent. So let's start with nitrogen. So nitrogen is an inert, colorless, odorless gas. So when we say inert, inert means it does not react. Okay, so nitrogen does not react very easily. That's one. And the other thing is colorless. It is transparent. It has no color. Okay, and it's odorless. So you're unable to smell it. Okay, so your sensors can't identify these guys. Okay, and it is a group 5 element. So group 5 element, that means it has 5 electrons in its outer shell. If you want to validate, simple, go to your textbook, turn to the periodic table and validate it. Okay, and then as I said, the main focus will be on the users. So the users are it is mainly used as a fertilizer. Okay, so fertilizer, you would know if you're doing in biology. So for most of these plants, the most important nutrients, there are 3 most important nutrients that the plant needs, and they are called nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So nitrogen is one of them. So nitrogen is used in many fertilizers. If you see in these gunny bags, of fertilizer, you will see always this something with nitrate. There will be always compounds associated with nitrates. Okay, ammonia is used to produce ammonia. Ammonia is also a very important gas that is needed for many things that we do in laboratory purposes. So all of those is why you need ammonia. And then also it's used as a food preservative. So many in this canned foods, what we do is they would insert nitrogen gas. So when you insert nitrogen gas, what they do is it will allow you to preserve food for a long period of time. Apart from being as a food preservative, so if you see in a lot of these casings in cases of food like potato chips and stuff like that, the packet is being like filled, it's like being ballooned, right? So that also happens when they insert nitrogen gases into it as a food preservative. But main purpose in Sri Lanka, if they do it, they normally cheat you on that, right? If you buy a packet, the packet is large and the contents inside are really small. Okay, unfortunately. Then we go to the next one, which is oxygen. So oxygen is similar to nitrogen, is an inert, colorless, odorless gas. It is in group 6. So group 6 means it has 6 electrons in its outer shell. Easy. And then the users. So users of oxygen is pretty simple. In hospitals they use oxygen gas for respiratory aids if a person is unable to breathe and stuff like that. And also oxygen cylinders are being carried by many people, right? If they go for like skydivers and scuba divers, and even if you go to mountain climbers and stuff like that. So oxygen is basically needed for respiratory purposes to help you in respiratory uh, aids and stuff like that. And then we have this particular thing, which now for nitrogen, there is no test for nitrogen, unfortunately, or maybe I'm learning in your syllabus, but we definitely have a test for oxygen, which is now, if you want to test for oxygen, now you can remember that we tested for hydrogen. We validated that it was hydrogen. So you can say anything theoretically, but when it comes to practical, you want to validate it with some procedure. The procedure for testing for oxygen would be you have to bring a glowing split. So glowing split means a burning split. Okay. So if you bring a burning split close to a test tube, what happens is the burning split will relight. Okay, so that's why we say a glowing spin relights. Okay, so if it relights, then it's oxygen gas present. If it does not react, if it gives something else like a pop sun or something else, that means it's another gas present. Simple as that. So this is a fact. Okay, this does not change. So if you want to test oxygen, this is the way you're going to test oxygen. So with that, we come to the end of this lesson also. So in this lesson, we learned a few things. We learned what are the gases present in the atmosphere, what are their proportions, what are the uses of those gases, and also we identified a test where we could validate the oxygen gas. So be familiar with all the things that we have done in this video and in the previous videos. Go through your lessons, and then you'll be in a good position to answer the question that will be handed to you in a couple of days time, I guess. Okay, so thank you.